Today we're going to learn the secrets to packaging your brand. Now this is one of the most important days of the rest of your life because how you look is so important with how you portray your brand, how you communicate it out into the world. All these studies that I've read year after year all point to the same conclusion, that about 68 to 70% of all communication is visual. That's right. That means that only 30% of what's coming out of your mouth matters. Now, I know that if you're a PhD or you're somebody who has a lot of degrees, this may be very disconcerting. But the fact of the matter is, we judge people on the way that they look and present themselves. So to talk about this very important subject today, I'm wearing a suit. I want you to think that I'm very serious about it. But I'm also wearing something that speaks volumes about who I am, and that's the necklace that I have on. It was my mother-in-law's, and she left it to me. She was the only mother I really ever had in my life, and she was a great, great artist, and we have many of her beautiful pieces in our home, and her creativity really inspires me every day, and she loved me for exactly who I am. So when I wear this heart, I remember hers. And that's one of the secrets to packaging your brand. You want to wear a signature piece, something that people will stop you and talk about. And if you're a guy, that could be your ties or your cool glasses, could even be the way you wear your hair or your shoes. You know what? One of the top executives that I know in Hollywood, he wears wild socks. You don't see him until he sits down, and then there they are, yellow striped, red check. You never know what he's going to wear. The guy's a billionaire, and it's all about the socks. So I want you to think about this. Where can you create a signature with your own brand? There's another woman that I know who's a screenwriter in Hollywood. They call her the Hat Lady. She wears different hats all the time, and that tells people that she's funny, that she's a comedy writer. Get it? Your interior is expressed in your exterior. So the next time you go shopping, I want you to think about, how can I package this brand to reflect all of the creativity and the professionalism that I have inside of me. So when you're deciding what to wear and you're ready to go to a meeting or make a presentation, I want you to, most importantly, for an interview, take this in. What I want you to do is observe what the other people are wearing in the organization that you're about to present to, that you're about to interview with. Make sure that you're in line. If they're all wearing suits, you've got to wear a suit. If they're all wearing jeans and a cool top, wear the jeans, but wear a jacket. In other words, do what they're doing, but kick it up a notch. Add something so that you look absolutely unforgettable. See, you know the reason why you love to touch or look at an iPad or an iBook or an iPhone? It's the packaging. The packaging is what draws you in first. Yes, there's great stuff inside, and it's a great tool for you, but it's the way it looks that attracts you there first. The same with the Mercedes convertible, or even that box of Quaker Oats, you know, that cylinder, it's so classic. You're attracted to it, not just because of what's inside, but because of how it looks on the outside. And that's why it's so important that you dress the part for your target audience, and then you just kick it up a notch to make you stand out from the pack. And here's how I really lassoed AOL as a client, by the way that I was dressed. One day I was getting into an elevator and a man walked in with me. I was going up to see a client. And as I was looking at the numbers illuminated, he was looking at me up and down and up and down. Now, maybe this was because in my attempt to look creative that day, I had gone a little too far. And I had on a pair of riding jodhpurs, a matching brown jacket, and a man's tie with a cowboy busting a bronco. And hey, I didn't live in Santa Fe yet. I was in the heart of Hollywood. The elevator doors open, I get off, and this man starts following me. I sit down in the lobby, he sits down in the lobby. He looks at me again, up and down, and I say to him, what is it? Who are you? And he says to me, well, I can tell by the way that you're dressed that you're really creative. Well, that's exactly the response I was looking for, but wow, it bowled me over when he said it. And then he said, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm a brand strategist for the digital age, using my tagline, of course. And he said, that's so interesting because we're looking for a brand strategist. I'm with AOL and I'm the head of research and development. And we're looking for someone like you to launch some new websites for us. Well, that day I landed a huge account simply by wearing my creativity on my sleeve. Now, I know in this economy, there's no chance you're running out and getting new wheels that reflect your personal brand, but your car should be clean. All right, we don't need Cheerios strewn all over the car seat or fast food bags, shoved under the dashboard. That car needs to speak volumes about your professionalism, your cleanliness, how neat you are, how organized you are, because you never know if a possible employer or your client's going to want to walk you out to the car or take you to lunch in your car. So that car needs to be a reflection of who you are and your brand. Now let's talk about packaging in terms of paper products. When you hand somebody your resume, it's got to be on great paper. It's got to have a watermark. It's got to be the best paper that you can afford. It's got to speak volumes about who you are. It's so important that when somebody touches something that's from you, that it feels good. That goes for business cards too. Your business card has got to be the face of your brand. Your logo stands out. Everything's neat and clean on it. I don't like cards that have flower backgrounds and purple sunsets. Forget all that stuff. I don't care if you're a massage therapist. Keep it clean, keep it classy. And if you can afford it, make sure that it's printed on an offset press. It's going to make a big difference in how people touch and feel your brand. Your letterhead, same thing goes. Great paper. When you print a brochure, pick the best paper quality you possibly can. And the cleaner and neater, the more white space you have and the more impactful images that you put into those pieces, the more you're going to draw your target audience in. And how's your workspace? Whether you're in a cubicle or in a large open room or you have your own office, your workspace should speak volumes about your brand. You should have a great rug in there, even if it is a cubicle. Some pieces of artifacts from your travels, things that say, this is who I am, things that make your workspace comfortable. Again, you're there 8 to 10 hours a day, and when people walk into your office, into your space, the place that you call your own, they should feel that it reflects you in a very, very positive way. And what about your Facebook, your Twitter, your LinkedIn pages, your website and your blog? Everything should have a consistent look and feel. They should reflect who you are visually. And that means take down all those party pics from your Facebook page. You don't need to look wild and crazy for anybody but your friends. Oh, you don't think that clients or prospective employers are going to find those pages? Well, guess what? There's a thing called Google, and if they're interested in working with you, they're going to look at everything you've got on the web. So take it down if it doesn't speak volumes about you and your greatest story. To start packaging your brand, use the checklist in your workbook to make sure that every part of your packaging is showing your greatest attributes and reflecting who you really are and how you want to be perceived in the world, whether it's your car or your workspace or your wardrobe. Make sure it speaks positively about you. Now, take in today's Reinvent Yourself secret. It's simply this: dress the part and you will play it so much better. See you tomorrow.